And we are live. Welcome back, guys, to another FRL pre-race podcast here for the season finale at Brazil. I'm joined with Swinny and Jay Hartnell. How are we tonight, guys?
Oh, very good, thank you. The last podcast we're doing on F1 2021, maybe?
Ooh.
Anyway, yeah, that's quite momentous, isn't it? But yeah, apologies we weren't with you last week. One of the reasons that we couldn't do that is because I was otherwise located. I was on this place called Cloud9 because I was trying to come down from the fact that I'd gone to Wembley the Sunday before and seen my football team get promoted to the Premier League. So now I'm back down to earth. We can do the podcast again. So yeah, I'm still buzzing off that, to be honest. So bit of living to work as apart from that, but other than that, all good, my friend. Thanks. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Nice bank holiday weekend. Celebrated the 2-year anniversary, me and the girlfriend. Not sure how I've lasted that long.
Well, she said.
But yeah, that was good fun. And then just cooked a roast dinner on Sunday. That was getting pretty old now at 27. So what about you, Hartnell?
Yeah, very good. No complaints, and yeah, pretty much like you. Enjoyed the bank holiday weekend. Wasn't that bad of weather, was it really? So just made the most out of that, really.
Really nice on Thursday. I actually went to a barbecue with my family and we played lots of games while we were drinking, and my niece and nephew were there and we were playing lots of board games, and apparently I'm not very good at juggling, so yeah, that was my tip from last week, is it's much harder than it looks. But if you've ever tried to juggle in your life.
It's any better than your FRL racing, mate, is progress.
Well, I'm good at juggling the emotions, so I thought I'd be good at actually juggling, but I mean, apparently not. But tonight we are here for Brazil. What do we think?
I like it. What a place to end the season, and what a place to end, well, the current cycle of F1, really, isn't it? I can't think of a better place to finish it off, really.
No, indeed, depending on your age, this was one of the classic season finales. You can think about 2007, 2008, 2012. It's just a track that always bops, and yeah, produces classic races in real life, and probably one of the favourite tracks for most people. On a bucket list, if you ever want to try and go to an F1 race, this is more like the glory, like golden desires ones to do. So no, have to be Brazil. And even generally think about it in league racing terms, I can't think of a bad league race at Brazil. It's just such a good track.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's one of those where you've got the excitement of weather. It's not always a guaranteed one stop. Also, obviously, it could rain, which makes it even more interesting. And there's spots to overtake all the time. So it's good to end the season at a track where you're going to see overtaking. Just not hopefully be overtaken, but yeah.
Yeah.
That Hamilton full throttle is a glorious one for the 1-1 wings, isn't it, Jay?
It is indeed, mate. It is indeed. I'm looking forward to that long straight. Well, it's not so much a straight, it's more of a banking, really.
Well, we'll ask Moody. He's pretty good at crashing on it.
Well, I'm not going to lie. It does make it a bit of a challenge for Sector 1.
Yeah, I would say I enjoy the challenge of Turn 3, but how it went from being realistic a few weeks back, I think the less we speak, the better.
I did 27 laps on mediums, so let's speak about it more.
I went Bottas bowling and cost Jay a lot of money. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, but it got me a couple of thousand views on TikTok, so I mean, we're doing alright for it.
We'll take it. But no, last week we were in France. A track that isn't really at the top of people's list of favourite tracks, but how did you find the race, guys?
Qualifying was comical. I span across the pit entry. That was fun. So I had to do another lap. Do another lap on slicks on a full wet track at that point. And then the race was all right, beat Kevin, so that was always fun. But I didn't really have much pace, to be honest. I was just kind of there, like, you know. Yeah.
I was exactly the same as you, Jack. I was just literally, just no pace, absolutely none whatsoever. So I don't know if it's a setup issue that me and you have got, but yeah, it felt. You know when you just don't feel that quick, you just think I can't really nail it. Just one of those races.
Yeah. It was a strong race for you though, Swinny. In terms of pace and actual performance.
Well, to do a classic podline, I won Q1.
Well, you timed it right, didn't you?
Pibis was watching.
I think I was the first person who looked at the map and saw it was going to rate within 5 minutes of Q1 and went out first. So
you just had slightly quicker reactions.
Well, it helps when you're in the Williams and you're right at the start, front end of the pit lane, isn't it? So you can go out first if you see it. So no, that was a strat. Qualified well. I spent the first half of the race running in the top 3. Spent the second half of the race, for the final 5 laps in the top 5, and then I finished P8 because I was an idiot and got 6 seconds worth of penalties. Despite having top 3, top 5 pace. Not gonna lie, pretty gutted how that race came out because I drove better than that in that race than I did when I came second in Abu Dhabi. I felt I got a P8 for my work. It was didn't feel like I got justice for my performance, and I'm gutted that I can't race tonight. So that's why I'm ending my season on. But we can take good heart in the fact that there's pace there, and I can take the pace into what we're doing in realistic. So there's all the positives to look at.
It's actually quite an eventful first lap, if I remember rightly. Didn't Kevin spin off? I think there was a few spinners in turn 1 as well, wasn't there? If I remember rightly.
I remember I actually had quite a good battle with the Moo for the first half of the race, and then I think on safety car restart he spanned quite early on the restart. But the first half of the race, I think it was constantly my DRS, and I was looking to try out the defend until the chicane down the Mistral straight. I may have got that one wrong, thinking about off the top of my head. Or he'd get past and then a couple of laps later I'd get it back. It was all about managing ERS. So no, I had a lot of fun actually in that first half of the race. And it was a bit crazy how close the field actually was a lot of the time. So no, France is one of my favourite tracks to do on the game. I know it gets a lot of stick in real life, but no, I had a really fun time apart from being an idiot and getting 6 seconds worth of pens.
Talking of pens, I think there are going to be a lot tonight.
All those tracks, isn't it? Once you get one, it's quite easy to get a few, isn't it?
I mean, turn 1, turn 2, turn 4, the exit, the final corner.
Turn 2 is the worst for me because you always want to try and take the fastest line through, and if you just turn right that a bit too early, it's so hard to recorrect it in time so you don't get a corner warning.
Yeah.
The curve on turn 3, if you get too much turn 3 after a safety car restart and your tyres are too cold, you can't quite go full throttle just yet, as I've learnt.
Yeah, definitely stay clear of that.
There's a few places on this track where you could quite easily lose it, isn't it? I think early on in the game as well, if you lost it at a certain place and you went over the grass, didn't you get a 10-second penalty or disqualification?
Yeah, I did that in Cone this year. So after turn 4, you got going up the hill towards the fast right. If you lose it there and go over the grass, get instant 10-second.
I did the full lot in F2 last week. So that slide where you've gone up the hill, you've taken the fast right hander, then you have the slow, slow right hander. You spin that, I cut across there, and then once you approach the final corner. At the start of sector 3, the final braking zone, if you lose it on entry out there because you failed to straighten up in time, you cut across the track, it fully resets your track and sets you back 10 seconds basically.
Oh wow.
Had that as well, so yeah. It wants to be careful for resetting to track. You can go that far off track, it will auto reset you to track, so something that might spook drivers as well, just to be careful of.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, but tonight then, what do we think in terms of, we did tier 2 first last week I think, so tier 1, who are we expecting to do well?
What is happening in Tier 1 tonight? Well, I've seen Champion of Smallers racing, and he says this is his favourite track. He can do last to first here easily, which isn't a good sign for everybody.
Not really.
Seen Alpine are at full strength for the first time. Well, Ricky and Crossfire checked in.
Leppy's in.
Leppy's in, so Alphatel got one good driver racing tonight.
Don't be mean to Leppy. Oh wait, yeah. Dick. Then we got both Alphas in, both Alpine Ferrari. Dixon's not, so that'll be good for some of the midfield to try and get up there, maybe nick a good result. Brazil's always a good one, I find, that you do tend to get a different podium.
It depends. At the moment, we have no idea what the weather is.
That's true.
I'm very much hoping it rains for you guys tonight. Not because I wish misery on you because I'm not racing, because I'd love to race in the rain as well. So, just a general fun thing for the race.
I've done okay at wet races this year, kind of. So.
Yeah, I must admit, I wouldn't mind it if it rained. I wouldn't mind it at all.
You might have to go up to 2 wings.
Yeah, 2. Nah, maybe 1-2. No. That sounds like it could work.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Go on then, Swinney. Give me your top 3.
Top 3 in a wildcard for tonight. Go on then. I'll go Smalley. He's confident in himself, and even though he took me out on the final lap on Super Sunday, he still won on Super Sunday, so he's in a good run of form. We will go Alien P2, and is there a good reserve tonight? Yeah, Ace Inferno P3, and a wild card of Sadistic, because it's quite a pen heavy, so any late safety car and he's in the pack easily jumps quite high up, so yeah.
I did beat Jamie in Realistic to P3 because he got a pen. And I also beat him to the win in Cone because he got a pen. Both at this track. The last 2 times I've raced with Jamie at Brazil.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to psychologically mess with him.
I am. You're damn right I am. Good, he deserves it. No,
That's cool. That's pretty good to be fair. He's far away. Go on then. I reckon Smalley's not going to win. I reckon he's going to try and be last to first. He's already done the championship, hasn't he? You know. So I'd go with Mr. Alien. With Ace Inferno P2 because he's just rapid, and P3 Ricky Republic with the wild card just because it's the last race of the season. I know he's found it a bit hard keeping up with some of the pace with some of the season, but it is going to be
nice. I'm gonna go with Smalley, Alien, Smalley, Ricky, Alien, and Leppy, my wild card, because every race he's done this year he's been really fast.
Teammate bias, shocking, mate.
Where have we heard that before, eh? No.
Indeed. Right, Tier 2 then, and very quickly actually on Tier 2, because we weren't here last week, we haven't had a chance to celebrate the champion of Tier 2, Mystery. Many congratulations.
Big shock.
Okay, bearing how the season went and the lead that Scenario 7 had, considering who we all thought beforehand, to be as consistent as they have been, it's been an excellent season. Really excellent.
What a second half of that season it's been for Mystery. Absolutely pulled out of the bag.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched all of the races, guilty, but I think it shows that he was probably driving with no pressure, just knowing that Scenario had such a big lead that he could just have fun and enjoy it, and clearly it worked, I'd say.
Certainly didn't do a Scenario and bottle it, did he?
Exactly.
That's what it's going to be known as now, I think, it's pulling a Scenario.
Oh, Pimis has put his predictions in for Tier 1. Bowie for the win, Hartnell P2, Swinney P3.
Hang on, why am I P3 out of Buzz Street? What the hell? That's slanderous.
Because you're not racing.
You're not there, mate, that's why.
If it rains, Hartnell will win. That's controversial.
Well, there's been stranger things. There's been stranger things.
No, we love it, Vimis. I'm just going to have a quick glance at the tier 2 check-in as well, actually.
Yeah, but no, massive congrats on Mystery. Also, got the most award. Got some kind of award, didn't he, as well? Was it most consistent driver or most improved? Or...
The awards for the season are so. The driver of the season was Mystery. Most improved driver goes to Eiling's piece, and then Mystery then won the most consistent driver as well. Because how do you win a championship without being consistent?
There we go. Well deserved. Well deserved on that one.
Very well
also for
deserved.
Eiling's as well, because he has definitely been the most improved. What an improvement that's been.
No, I've been
100%.
excellent in Tier 1. And even in realistic in Alfa Romeo, where he qualifies that car, unbelievable.
He's missed the Saturday and Sunday, isn't he, really?
I think he's been very unlucky on the Sundays, but no, definitely the qualifying has been impressive. If there's any realistic team bosses here and you're sleeping on signing R-Leagues for a top team, do it. I'm not even saying that as a team boss, I'm saying that as a driver who deserves a better seat than Alfa Romeo.
He says that a team boss hasn't been in touch with him, mate.
There we go, mate. There we go.
The way you
But hang
said
on,
that,
means one of us is getting sacked.
yeah, the way you said
There's
that,
only one person that could
Who's costing the most money?
the curveball of the year if Bowie
There
gets
you
sacked.
go. How you break it.
There we go. People were pressuring me for an answer yesterday, and I kept quiet.
So I'm just going to DM Hart and I'll make sure he's joking.
I'm not saying maybe not.
Don't want the pressure of driving for the fastest car next season anyway if we're still Ferrari boys, so no.
Exactly.
I completely lost where we were. I'm sorry.
Now, doing predictions for Tier 2 is where we were. Jesus Christ.
We did go off, didn't we?
Right, Tier 2, who's going to win the Season 2, the Tier 2 finale? I'm going to go Twisted Symmetry, followed by Becco, followed by Daz Parker, and the wildcard has to be this wildcard for this last race of the season, goes to Mean Moody.
Yeah, like it. Like that.
Why did he take the man out of his name?
I didn't, he did.
No. Did I say why did you? Why did he?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you use it as if I removed the man out of Mean Man Moody. No, because he changed his name to FRL Mean Moody because FRL matters more than being a man.
Gotcha. Nice. Okay. I regret asking now because I don't have Efro in my name, but it's a work in
Sort of
progress.
geezer then as well. Nice. You would have been being really harsh to like.
I could switch it up in a heartbeat.
If you'd heard Barry saying before the pod started how he pronounced saying he was going to get a glass of water earlier, my word.
That was bad, wasn't it?
It was silver spoon moment. Silver spoon. Right.
Tier 2, where we at?
Right, okay. I'm going to go with AFL to win tonight. I think she's been unlucky this season. P2 is going to be Becca. I haven't really given a lot of mentions to Becca this season, so I think I should do for this one. And P3, yeah, I'm going with Me Man Moody as well. And the wild card is going to be Deludder.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with Twisted Science P1, Riz P2 for Red Bull 1-2, Becco P3, and I'm going to go William is my wild card for tonight. Sorry, me man.
Do you know Williams on Panther as well?
Okay, no, Moody it is.
I do believe his wheel was broken. So he didn't really have a good time of it last night in Mexico. Nice, solid top threes in the world class, really, isn't it? Solid.
Yeah, I'm going to go Moody then. I'm going to go Moody, but yeah.
Done the right thing eventually. Eventually, but no, that takes us to the end of discussing FRL this season. How has this season been? Another successful Tuesday. Season 5, isn't it, across spanning F1 2020 and F1 2021. entering a new era on F1 22 very, very shortly. Which, as we're speaking, in 3 weeks' time, if you pre-order the Champions Edition, you will be playing.
If you pre-ordered the Champions Edition and also booked off Tuesday to Friday like I did, you were going to be playing a lot.
I've not booked time off work, but
I got time off anyway for Silverstone, and it just worked so well.
helps when they market it around launching it when around the British Grand Prix that you've done that, so no, well played.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited for next year because I actually did my first league race with no line the other week in Super Sunday Tier 2, and I put it on pole. So I finished P3 because I got a penalty on the last lap, which really sucked. Then I span under VSC, so there was a lot of mistakes there. But I am considering going no line straight away on the new game.
Do it.
I think we're going to see a lot of changes next season. I think we're going to see drivers that we haven't seen this season all of a sudden start to creep back up. I think there could be a changing of the order.
Changing of the guard.
I think there could be. I think people that have been quick on this game may not be quite so quick on the next one. That's my feeling.
I think it will depend how quickly people get used to the handling of the new cars, because from what I've seen, apparently the rear end is far more sensitive, and therefore if you run no traction control, it's easier to spin the car on exit, like much easier to spin the car on exit. So I think it was one of the things where those with not a heavy foot on the accelerator, or not a heavy finger on your R2 button if you're on pad, I think that could end up being a bit different, because if you don't know how to get a fast exit out of corners, you're never going to get the traction down, then it's a no-goer, isn't it?
Very true, actually.
I think it's also going to be... it's going to take a lot of time understanding the setups. It's going to be quite different to what we're all sort of used to, isn't it?
I'm probably quite lucky here that I've never been knowing how to master a setup. I just nick one that I feel comfortable in, and then that ends up being what I settle on. I've got no idea with a blank canvas where to go from. But I'm very much interested in the wings now. Rather than go from 1 to 11, they go from 1 to 50. And I was listening to an interview with Lee Mather, who's, I can't remember what his official title is, but he's in charge of developing the F1 game for Codemasters. And they actually wasn't even there. I think it was actually whoever was in charge of actually developing the car handling. I do apologise. I think there was, like, in the past, like the wings that were 1 to 11, it wasn't 1 to 11 for every single track. So one wing, if you ran one wing at Monza, that is much less downforce than if you ran one wing at Monaco, say. So there was actually a sliding scale of how much you could change your downforce up or down beforehand. However, now it's going from 1 to 50. That is the same 1 to 50 for every single track. So you could literally run a Monza setup at Monaco now.
Fantastic.
Okay. That's really interesting, actually, isn't it?
That is some great news.
I think that we've got to do that. Monza setup at Monaco, no line.
Yeah, like a genuine 1-1 wing setup with the skinniest wing possible.
I must admit, I did. There was something that I saw on YouTube today. I think Codemasters and EA Sports released something today that was to show the graphics and stuff like that. And looking at the graphics, it looks pretty spectacular. Definitely now that EA Sports has come on board.
Ah, yeah, to speak about a rival game, you seen the graphics for F1 Manager though?
Yeah,
they're insane.
I know. I'm kind of in two minds of...
I'm going to get it, I think.
I think they've done well with pricing on F1 Manager, looking at it, because it's going to be 45 quid. And it comes out at the end of August. So you've got almost a 2-month gap between the racing game and the manager game. You can get it now for that being a promo for F1 Manager. You can get it with a 10% discount now and early access. And yeah, I think on the price of 45 quid compared to like the 60, 70 quid you've got to do for the racing game, I think they've pitched it well enough and spaced it so far out where you can get a lot of people buying it.
Definitely, and if you click our link in the podcast, we all get 10% off.
I wish. I wish. When we get to go and go, this podcast is sponsored by F1 Manager.
We need pivots.
No, but it's only 22 days away now, isn't it? It's really not long at all.
Indeed, no. Like by the end of this month, I mean, I'm going for a day at a music festival on Saturday, and then going to a holiday in Germany next week. Like, it'll be the 28th before I think I know it's happened. Like 3 weeks time, I'll blink and we'll have made it, and we'll be talking about a brand new game very shortly. Definitely,
and Hulkenberg is back.
The Hulk
is in the game. He's going to be signed by me straight away on my team.
You know what? That's what I probably need to commit to do on F1 22. Well, F1 2021 has literally all been about league racing for me. I've not done anything single player, or not gone deep into anything single player at all. So I actually want to take some time to dedicate to doing the single player stuff and experiencing all of what the F1 game offers to me, rather than, as I just because, you know, as we've heard, league racing is that, so we can probably enjoy the F1 game as far as we can tell, but taking the time to do the single player stuff as well is what I really want to try and focus on as well.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on what features they've added this year. I take it they're still doing pretty much what they've done for this year, I take it. In terms
we
of
got supercars as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That should be quite fun.
Obviously the new tracks are going to be fun to race on. The changes that have been made, that'll be good. Still got co-op career, which is nice.
I've seen a rumour we might be returning to short circuits.
That will be epic.
That would be good. Nice Bahrain short.
Bahrain short is the one, to be fair.
It was so much fun. I've been tempted to boot 2020 back up just to play it.
Such a great track. Bahrain short, so fun. That'd be good though. Yeah, the new tracks, if they do bring back short, that'd be nice.
There's talks of classic circuits as well.
We say classic, it means that ones where Codemasters have dug out the coding for games they've had since 2010 and just doing a bit of a jazz up of them to make them look pretty. So, but things like, I think I've heard the big rumor, like they're going to put Hanoi on just because the amount of time they went into developing that track, they don't want it to go to waste. So
I didn't mind Hanoi.
I'm hearing Hanoi. I think I've seen Hockenheim as well. Rumored, and I love Hockenheim.
Hockenheim's amazing. Yeah.
Never did a league race around Hockenheim because last what the game was on was 2019 and I started racing on the 2020 game, so I'd love Hockenheim to be back.
Yeah, Turkey would be good if it could. Malaysia.
Malaysia
Some very good tracks that could come back. Korea, that wasn't a bad circuit, and I think redone could be pretty good.
Never liked Korea, to be honest.
What they could do as well is the Bahrain Outer and the Extended, because that was in 2010. The Outer wasn't, but 2010 had the
I'd love them to
Extended
develop the
Bahrain.
genuine Bahrain Outer rather than like whatever their idea of short was. I'd love that to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. It's basically just an oval, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'd like old Silverstone, but I know it won't happen. But that would be epic.
Yeah, that would be good. But saying that, talking about old track, I am looking forward to giving Miami a good old go.
Yeah, same.
That'll be the first track I want to go to. I think.
Yeah, it'll be the first track I go on, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon so.
So I'm looking forward to that. That should be a good starting place.
Yeah. What do we
Indeed,
think,
Paul.
actually, guys? I do have a question. Just going off the game, we do have iLinks actually in the chat, saying appreciate his kind words. No worries at all, mate.
Michael Massey was back then.
Yeah.
Alright, mate.
The 2022 season so far, Monaco. Obviously, that was the weekend.
It was.
Well, it wasn't last weekend, but obviously we had it on the
Weekend
podcast,
before, yeah.
so yeah. we haven't discussed. That was exciting, wasn't it?
I didn't watch the highlights, but I don't know. Was it a case of did the FIA make the wrong call with rain? Because do we want to see cars race in the rain ever again, or the FIA gonna killjoy it every time?
That was what I was umming about. Yeah, I think they called it a bit too early.
Yeah, they called it very early.
Yeah, I think that's my feeling towards it. Because it would have been a bit more. It would have been a bit more exciting. It would have had a bit more drama, a bit more less of the unknown. So I think they should have kept on racing. I think.
Especially as it was only interim time, so they could have got underway. But I'm happy with the final outcome, so I'm pretty glad Sergio won. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, deserved winner, to be fair. Very deserved. You know.
I thought Leclerc deserved to win it, and Ferrari are useless at strategy.
You see, you do say that, but Sergio was already ahead before the tyre change, before the slick tyre change. It was Carlos, Sergio, Max, then Charles, because they went on to Inters first, wouldn't they? So
yeah, the right call was to go to Inters early, but I think once you're committed to doing wets to slick, you don't do wets to Inters, then one that later come in for slicks. It made no sense, and that's how you go from first to fourth.
Yeah. That is very true, but no, it was good. It makes it more interesting at the top so far, which would be nice. And what do we think for Baku this week as well? That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I just want to add this. Don't know if you guys have seen this today, but a certain Mr. Horner, Mr. Wolf, Mr. Bonotto have been saying they're going to run out of money before the end of the year. They're going to run out of budget cap.
They're all blaming it on inflation now, aren't they?
They are.
What does that mean, though, if they do run out of budget cap? Like, what does that actually...
They'll get fined, won't they, if you exceed it?
Yeah. Williams got one today, didn't they? 25 grand. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's a loose change for an F1 team, isn't it? That's...
At the front of the grid, yeah, if you're at the back.
Exactly. What I would like to see is the FIA actually implement it, because there was, I was listening to something with Johnny Herbert, and Johnny Herbert says, this is just all about money management. You know, look at McLaren. They don't even spend 140 million a year. So he just said that's just literally down to the accountants.
Music to the ear of an accountant. Like, F1 teams, I'm available for hire.
Exactly, that's what it is. It's just money management. And it's just the big teams that have never had to do that, because they've had infinite amounts of money and never really had to money manage. So they don't like it now, they have to. Which I actually love. I love it when Christian Horner gets a bee in his bonnet. It's fantastic.
Indeed.
I love it as well. I do love
Indeed.
it.
Because he's such a little child at heart, isn't he?
No, he's a Karen, not a child.
Right, yeah, Karen. Well, saying that, I did like the token gift. Oh, I've actually got one in my hand at the moment, to be fair. That what Red Bull done to Aston Martin with the green Red Bulls. I thought that was quite funny.
That was pretty good, to be fair.
So Red Bull are the king of marketing, though, and it worked very well.
It did, because I've got a green Red Bull in my hand now, so it worked. Very nice it is. Cactus. Cool.
Is that then basically calling Aston Martin pricks?
Actually, it could be, yeah. Cactus fruit, so yeah, it could be that as well.
There you go, got a marketing head yourself. I'll run the accounts for our F1 team. You do the marketing. Jay, you do the aerodynamics. 1-1 wings, sorted.
Yeah.
There we go.
Just need the nutter to drive the thing.
I hear Pimis is a free agent.
Fantastic. There you go.
Awesome.
You ain't
We've
be
got
able
a
to
team.
go around corners, but you'll be alright. But yeah, I suppose we better talk about Baku, didn't we?
Yeah, top 3 for Baku.
Love that place.
Max, Perez, Russell.
Ooh. Okay. Go on, Hartnell.
I'm gonna go with... I'm going to go with Perez. P1, P2, Russell, P3. I'm never... Until this actually happens, I'm going to keep on saying it. Kevin.
Yeah, alright.
Mr. Mag.
I'm going to say Sergio, Carlos, Lewis. Top 3.
No, I'm reluctant to go with the Ferrari because they're both very prone to a mistake, aren't they?
Yeah. But...
I've just got a funny feeling that both of them are going to crash.
What, into each other, or just separately?
No, I can see Leclerc and Castle just trying to push it a bit too far. And Carlos, I reckon it would be turn 3. He'll just lose that under traction or get his braking point wrong and just go straight on.
I think with how the heavier cars in the braking zones, I think you'll see a lot of cars going straight on at corners. Like more than usual.
Yeah. So I think going through that castle section with how heavy these cars are now, it's going to be so tricky.
That is very true, actually.
Who can handle it a bit better?
Is Latifi going to score points?
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
Wishful thinking.
Quick conversation.
I think you could get Mick though.
I doubt
Could get
it.
Mick.
I highly doubt it.
I'm
not a fan of Mick at the moment. He needs to do a lot to change my mind.
There is a lot of talk about him gone.
Going to Aston Martin, apparently.
There is, yeah, supposedly so.
Based on what? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what. Aston Martin on that, to be honest. Doesn't make any sense to me, personally. It's not a Ferrari-powered engine. They would have to buy him out of his Ferrari contract, I would assume.
Although Red Bull and Albon. Williams, Mercedes.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point. So I can't see why Aston Martin would do that, to be honest. The much more sense for Aston Martin is to go 2 Canadians, Latifi and Stroll.
Yeah, but that doesn't make much sense in itself, to be honest.
No, exactly. Lance Stroll would be extremely poor in a couple of races, but that'd be horrible. But yeah, I hate to say it, I don't think we'll see Mick in it. I think Mick will have a hiatus for a season and come back in 2024, I think.
Yeah, I could see that happening. We're going to have to wrap up there, though, guys. We're going to have to sort invites out for tonight's race. But thank you for everyone that watched. Pimis, iLinks, cheers for the comments, guys. Really appreciated. Anything for you guys to add?
Don't believe so. Just thank you for everyone for listening over the course of the season, really, and listening to us waffle on about a load of nonsense majority of the time. So, yeah, thank you.
That's it. No special message. Just a massive thank you to everyone for who's ever checks into this podcast. We'll have a blast doing it, so we'll continue to do it in future FRL seasons.
Cheers, guys.